and welcome to this month's Artist Corner. I'm delighted to welcome this evening a Chelmsford-based electronic singer-songwriter, Mr. Alan Dreezer. Alan, hello and welcome.
Hi, Gayle. Nice to see you again.
Great to see you again.
So when was the last time we
met?
That's the first.
I think we originally met around 3 years ago.
That's right.
I actually met you at the studio of Leisure FM.
I remember, yes.
You were being interviewed live on the Spotlight show, the Sunday afternoon
with Dave Heaney.
Spotlight show.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah, that was good.
And I remember shortly afterwards actually seeing you play live for the first time.
That's right.
When you were with AD Project. And I think it was the Queen's Day Festival in Coggeshall.
Right. Was that June, wasn't it? Around
it was
time.
June.
Yeah.
And I remember being very struck by your voice because immediately I heard you sing, I just thought of Tony Hadley, Spandau Ballet, which is not such a bad thing, is it?
No, I've had a lot of comparison with him.
Yeah.
And I've been asked to join a couple of tribute acts, actually.
Oh, have you?
But
have you really?
I've always kind of shied away from that. I've always wanted to do my own
your own thing. Yeah.
So,
I can appreciate that.
I'm a big fan.
But
it's a compliment.
It's not a bad comparison,
not a bad
is it?
comparison, no.
So as I say, it's over 3 years ago, probably since we met. That was when you were fronting AD Project. So obviously a lot of things have happened in that time in terms of your musical career. So give us the background to kind of where you started with your music and the different lineups or collaborations that you've been involved with.
So I've been making music for 20 plus years. Started with my best friend Russell Aylett. We were friends at school and we both had a big passion for music, and from there that kind of developed into a songwriting duo, and we recorded a 12-inch single of our own, totally self-funded.
Back in the days of vinyl, obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
And then we got to go. We went to the local council and asked them for some support, and they got us onto a tour with some bands of the time, which were Brother Beyond and Eddie Kidd, believe it or not, because he was trying to get a music career going at that time. People like that. And then we got a management deal when it all was going really, really well. And then for whatever reason, it didn't quite happen for us. So we kind of parted ways. I carried on writing with a couple of other people. He had his own studio and he was producing other bands. And then I got in contact with him in 2006 at the beginning of it and said, look, I'm thinking of doing some solo work. Would you help me produce it?
Yes.
And we'd arranged to meet up in the spring of 2006. And I said, well, I'm going to Florida for a holiday with the kids and my wife at the time. When we get back, we'll arrange it. While I was in Florida, I'd switched my phone off because of work. And when I switched it back on, I think I had about 30 or 40 missed calls. And then so I rang all these people and they were all trying to get in contact with me to tell me that Russell had been murdered, which was a complete shock and obviously devastating news.
My goodness.
It's a long story, but basically two guys broke into his apartment in the YMCA in Romford, and a fight ensued and he was strangled to death. So that experience of obviously that happening I just didn't want to do music. I just, without the mourning for him and music kind of went into the back burner for quite a while. And then I met Julian through Julian Albert through work, probably about 5 or 6 years later, and he kind of coaxed me back into music. And it did take a while, actually.
So it was that many years that you stepped away from it?
Yeah, because it really did have an effect on me. So, but once I kind of joined AD Project, if you like, and we started to write together again, I kind of got the bug again, and that developed. But I was writing with a band, and I really enjoyed the camaraderie of the band and the friendships of the band, but it wasn't really the music I wanted to make. And after about a year, I kind of realised that. But I didn't want to leave the band because I felt like I owed them. They were really there for me and got
when
me
you
back
needed
when I needed
that
someone.
sort of
yeah,
support.
so
yeah.
and they're still good friends of mine. So I carried on probably for a bit longer than I should have done with it. But in 2016, the intention was that I was going to do AD project and then start recording a few solo things as a side thing.
Yes.
But one thing led to another, and that didn't quite pan out. And I decided now I was going to focus solely on solo music,
Okay.
and also then to do the music that I'd always wanted to make, which was electronic based, 80s influenced.
Yes, I was going
music.
to say, I guess the original influences came from the 80s. Strangely enough, this week I was listening to Depeche Mode's latest album, and I actually thought of you because I thought, I wonder if Alan's heard this or what you think of their sort of current day stuff. Do you still listen to bands like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, we went and saw, a friend of mine and I went and saw Tears for Fears last year, which
fantastic.
they've been a big influence on my musical writing and the production. So they
were
definitely
huge
they
of
were
their
great.
time,
and they've
weren't
just
they?
started to make a new album again, which is good news.
Yeah.
A lot of the ABC and Spandau
Yeah.
and Depeche Mode and Human League were all a big influence at the time.
Yeah, and there has been a big revival of 80s bands in recent years, hasn't there? Which I think is testimony to the fact that the music has stood the test of time, and that it's not just people of a certain age group, shall we say?
Well, I think it's got
without mentioning any
it's got
numbers.
a whole new fan base.
Which
so.
is great. And without sounding like I'm some kind of old fuddy-dud, to me, there hasn't been music that has been so significant since the 80s. I don't think there's been a decade where you can really identify with the music.
Yeah, I think there were some huge bands worldwide from that scene, wasn't there? Like Wham and Culture Club and Duran Duran.
Well, Boy George is back on the scene again too,
yeah, I saw
isn't
that.
he?
I saw him on Radio 2.
Talking of a kind
concert.
of 80s revival.
So it's still it's all about but as well as that, I'm also, along with my producer Elliot, that we're in the studio of today.
Yes,
Highfield
we
Studio,
should mention Highfield Studio, which is a great setup locally.
Bookings now available. I'm also into sort of bands of now as well. So a lot of electronic music, people like S.G. Lewis and Sohn.
I think you mentioned you were mentoring.
Yes, I am. I've been mentoring because I've been doing music for so long. One of the things that I met a young lad here, actually came in and sat on one of the sessions when I was recording my album, and he played me one of his songs on a break, and Ben, his name is, and played it, and he was incredible. And it was a bedroom produced music, and it was, the production level was out of this world. So I've been mentoring them for the last few months, and really enjoying doing that.
So you're probably getting a lot out of that too.
I mean, it was one of those things that if I'd have had someone like me when I was his age,
mentoring you when you were that age.
Because you do make mistakes, and I'm still making them, but I've been able to pass on a bit of knowledge and steer them in. They've got some radio interest, and the latest video is getting a lot of plays, so they're doing quite well. They're really good.
Okay,
So the name is, by the way.
That's great. So obviously, let's talk about the new solo album, because that's obviously very, very relevant to you, and you're very excited about it. It's called London E12.
Correct.
Is that connected with the postcode? Is the name relevant to your background? Is that the part of where you were brought up? I guess that was the case.
So the whole kind of concept of the album, there's a line in one of the songs that I wrote that kind of led me to coming up with that title. And it says, "The swing in my garden is where I fly away." And I used to have a swing in my garden when I was 7 or 8 as a child. And I remember, thinking about life and everything. And that came into some of the writing a lot of the songs are reflective of my childhood and stuff like that.
Yes, because I picked up on something that you said on your website that I thought was very powerful, because you said that you feel like it's taken the whole of your life to actually write this album.
Yeah.
And that as you say, it is very reflective. To an extent, you have confronted some of your demons, and you now feel able to move forward with your life.
Absolutely right.
As a result of that. So that's really, really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start writing the London E12 album then?
So that would have been in the summer of 2016. And the first song, which was We've Come a Long Way, was the first song from it. And then we here just developed the album over about an 18-month period.
Trying to make up for lost time. I'm feeling guilty for everything I've left behind. I'm trying to change what I've become. I'm trying to forget the time when I couldn't run. You've shown me how to be. You've made it all alright. You've shown me that with love our future can be bright. We've come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you. We have come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you. I'm changing all my nights into days. I'm sharing my feelings, not saving them for rainy days. I'm thankful for the lies and the pain. They've driven me to you, now I want to explain. You've shown me how to be. You've made it all alright. You've shown me that with love our future can be bright. We've come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you. We have come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you. You stood by me. With all of your love, you set me free. You came from above. We've come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you. We have come a long way. I have something to say. We have come a long way. I wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah.
And it was released in the summer.
July of this year.
And
yes.
just one of the singles is out at the moment called Unknown, which is the first track on the album as
Yes.
Unknown, I'm meeting you soon. Got great expectations, nothing to lose. Unknown, I'm walking with you. Will you have all my kisses or burst my balloon. You don't frighten me, 'cause you got all I need. I just wanna leave, won't you help me please? All I know is I have to get away, to be someone different. Don't care what people say, just because I do this doesn't make it right. Unknown, won't you help me? 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. No more. 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. No more. No more. I see you, and I know you see me. You've heard all my screaming, you've seen my heart bleed. Unknown, I'm taking a chance for all the right reasons. It's time to watch me dance. You don't frighten me, 'cause you got all I need. I just wanna leave, won't you help me please? All I know is I have to get away, to be someone different. Don't care what people say, just because I do this doesn't make it right. Unknown, won't you help me? 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. No more. 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. Sound, I'm falling. I heard you calling. I see the ground. Listen to my sound. All I know is I have to get away, to be someone different. Don't care what people say, just because I do this doesn't make it right. Unknown, won't you help me? 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more. No more. 'Cause I don't think that I can find no more.
So it has been a two-year project.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to fit your life in, and it's an expensive hobby until it isn't.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, no, it's been a labour of love, and Elliot's been a great help, and we've got a great rapport. I've been working with him here with AD Project and now solo for about 7 years, and
it's obviously
he's a great
important
friend.
to get a producer that you are comfortable
absolutely.
working with,
Absolutely.
where you're on the same page, if you like, where you each understand what it is you're setting out to achieve, and it's not someone who's going to mess around too much with how you want it to sound, how you imagine it in your head.
He's genuinely interested in what I'm trying to achieve, and he's a co-writer of the album as well. So those two things mean that it's a real collaboration.
Yeah, that's great. So it's really satisfying. So you must have sort of felt very relieved when you finally were able to go ahead with the release in July.
It was really, yeah.
This year.
It's been probably the best year of my life, having done it, you know, in a lot of ways, because a lot of things away from music have gone really well for me, and to be able to finally, you know, say this is me, is a huge thing.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Now I know you've released, I think, 3 singles off the new album, and the video for "If This Is the End." Incidentally, I found it really hard to decide which of the singles I liked the best, but I have decided "If This Is the End" is my favourite one.
Thank you.
Now, I think it's great. I love it. You recorded the video in Spain. Was there a reason for that, other than the fact you wanted to top up your suntan? Was there a reason for recording the video in Spain?
We actually lived there for 6 months last year.
Yes.
And it's because my wife has not been too well. Not terminal or anything like that, but she suffers from arthritic problems and stuff like that.
So she needs the weather.
So we tried that as an experiment, and it was a great success. But while we were there, obviously, I thought, in a great location, what a great opportunity to have a video made as well. So Elliot came out for a week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And he topped up his suntan, and I topped up mine, and we went to some fantastic locations and got some great sunrises and sunsets and stuff like that. And
I've seen them on the video.
It's a gorgeous video. Yeah. He's done a great job with it, and the song is about my father. It's a testament.
Is it? Because I wondered if it was, you know, typically the end of a relationship, but obviously that's a different type of relationship, losing a parent.
But it's not too sentimental in a way. It was really just a dream I had about him, about a year or two after he died, and it was me having a conversation about why I hadn't gone round to visit him enough while he was alive. You know, just sort of almost an apology from me to him, and something. You know, I think everybody that loses someone always thinks, I wish I could have said that, or wish I could have explained that.
Of guilt.
Yeah, absolutely. So. So
sometimes we beat ourselves up unnecessarily about things like that, don't we?
Sure. So I just woke up with that. Those words just came out the next morning. I just wrote down that conversation, and the song developed from there.
I know that sounds like being cruel, but I can't stomach being kind. I could have done more, but I would not change a thing. Knew someone more, I could not bear to think. If this is the end, that wasn't you. If we don't say it, it ain't the truth. If this is the end, I don't wanna lie, I just couldn't be there to say goodbye. Driving by your house the other day, but you weren't out there waving, couldn't tell you what I came to say. It's hard to comprehend that you are gone. Can't tell you how that makes me feel, but I don't think that I was wrong. I could have done more, but I would not change a thing. Knew someone more, I could not bear to think. If this is the the end, that wasn't you. If we don't say it, then it ain't the truth. If this is the end, I don't wanna lie, I just couldn't be there to say goodbye. When I close my eyes, you are standing there. Don't you leave my side. Tell me that you care. If this is the end, that wasn't you. If we don't say it, it ain't the truth.
So the running order of the tracks on the album, is there some sort of chronological, because you said about the song with the lyric about the swing, which obviously dated back to when you were a child. Is there a chronological order to the
There's a
to
hell
the
of a lot
songs?
of hell of a lot of thought gone into trying to tell a story right through the album. So
So there is a narrative.
yeah, so the
I know.
first thing you hear is called London E12 Interlude, which is actually me walking away from AD Project and some other things. You hear footsteps
Yes.
and an AD Project song is playing in the background.
Oh, okay.
And
So as one door closes, another
Exactly.
one opens.
And then the
type
first
thing.
track is called Unknown, which is basically me going into the unknown with this album. And I left my career around the time I started writing it. So a lot of things were new and undiscovered and unknown. And that was the starting point. It was definitely
Yes.
always going to be the opening track of the album.
Yes, yes.
And then there's a narrative right the way through.
Okay, great. And because I think you touched on the subject earlier that music isn't just a hobby to you, that it is your passion. So are you actually in a position yet where you are able to dedicate 100% of your time to your music? Or
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
because I think when I originally met you, you still kind of had a day job,
That's
didn't
it.
you?
That's right, yeah. I mean,
So you've kind of achieved the dream to an extent by...
yeah, I mean things have transpired, not necessarily through choice. My wife's illness has meant that I'm kind of caring for her, and that's part of the reason for not working.
Yes.
But that's opened up this world of music as well, because
Yes.
music is something you can do anywhere and at any time. So you don't have to be, it's not a 9 to 5 thing.
No.
So it's much easier for me to write and develop music now than it ever has been. And also
Yes.
with a free mind, because when you've got the pressures of, I was a retail manager for a big electrical company, and the pressures of that just meant that being creative was very difficult.
Yes, so mentally you're less encumbered
Correct.
now than
Absolutely.
maybe
I feel totally
than
free
you
from all of
were
that.
in the past.
Definitely.
Okay, Alan, so just really 2 final questions, I think.
Yes.
One,
Yeah.
where can people find the album, London E12?
On my website, which is www.alandreezer.com, or
Yes.
Alan Dreezer Official is my Facebook page,
Okay.
or Alan Dreezer Official is my Instagram page.
Dreezer is spelt incidentally Dreezer.
Well done. There's been a few variations of that, but we won't go into that.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, through that, and it's available on all the major streaming services as well.
Okay. And what about upcoming live performances? Where can we see you in and around Essex? I guess that information is on your website.
Yeah, we've got one confirmed date on the 8th of February in Wickford, which is a really great venue called the Running Well Acoustic Music Club. And I've played there with AD Project. Very, very appreciative audience, give you really good attention and really great feedback to your music. So it's the first time I'll be playing my solo album live at that venue.
Okay.
And there's two other dates to be announced very shortly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Well, I'm delighted to meet up with you again.
Yes, it's been too long.
We will make sure it's not 3 years again till I see you next time.
Like
and I'm certainly going to come along and see you perform the new solo album live.
Please do.
So that's it for this month for Artist Corner. A big thank you to Alan Dreezer, and we'll see you again next month.
Thank you, Gayle. Thank you.
Thanks.